Today, we're diving into a detective story that could only happen in the digital age, a modern mystery we're calling the locked room alibi.
So let's start with a really tough question. In an era where our digital footprint can supposedly prove where we are at any given moment, how do you break an alibi that seems absolutely perfect?
All right, picture this. It's late evening in a quiet, upscale Los Angeles home. But inside, something has gone terribly wrong.
When the police arrive, they find the victim, a businessman named Riyan Shah. It's pretty clear he was strangled after a violent struggle. But the scene just doesn't make any sense. The room was locked from the inside. And when they check the home's CCTV footage, it shows absolutely no one entering or leaving around the time of the murder. It's a classic locked room mystery, straight out of a novel.
You know, with no signs of a break-in, suspicion naturally falls on someone close to the victim. So the police bring in their prime and really their only suspect, Ryan's business partner, Adrian Cole. Turns out the two were in the middle of a major disagreement at work, which, gives Adrian a pretty clear motive.
But when they question him, Adrian is just perfectly calm, almost dismissive, really. He looks the detectives right in the eye and gives them his alibi in just 3 words.
And wow, what an alibi it is! Adrian shows him a Facebook Live video he was streaming from his office. It ran from 9:30 p.m. to 10:15 p.m., which covers the entire window for the murder. And this wasn't just him talking to a camera. He was interacting with thousands of viewers, even answering their comments as they popped up on screen. This felt totally unbreakable. It's public, it's time-stamped, it's interactive. How do you argue with that? So the lead detective watches the stream. Everything looks perfect, almost too perfect. After this long silence, they give a really simple command, but it's the one that's going to crack this whole case wide open.
With the sound off, the detective's focus just narrows right in. They're not listening to what Adrian is saying anymore. Nope, they're just watching one single, solitary object in the background of the video.
And there it is, the fatal mistake. I mean, think about it. The live stream lasted for 45 minutes. So the hands on that wall clock behind Adrian, they should have moved, but they didn't. For the entire video, from 9:30 all the way to 10:15, the clock's hands were completely frozen in place.
And just like that, the entire illusion just shatters. In that one moment, the detective realizes the truth. The perfect digital alibi, it's all a fabrication.
Well, Adrian's cool demeanor finally starts to crack, but he's still defiant. He knows the detective's accusation is just based on a little visual detail. So he challenges them, asking for some actual hard evidence. But the detective had way more than just a frozen clock. They pulled the video's file details. It's like its digital fingerprint. And that is where the alibi completely fell apart. See, every digital file has this hidden data, its metadata, that tracks its history. And while you can maybe fake what's in a video, it is much harder to fake the server logs. The stream looked live from 9:30, but the video file itself wasn't actually uploaded until 10:20 p.m. That's after the murder was committed. And that was the proof they needed. So the whole scheme was laid bare. Adrian Cole had recorded his so-called live video at some earlier time. Who knows, maybe days before. Then, around 10 p.m., he went over to Riyan Shah's house and committed the murder. Afterwards, he used some special software, the kind that lets you broadcast a saved file as if it's a live feed, and streamed his pre-recorded video, creating his perfect, impossible alibi. Faced with the digital trail, Adrian finally confesses. His plan was honestly meticulous, a crime designed for the world we live in now. But in the end, it was undone by a simple, overlooked detail from the world of the past.
And that brings us to our final thought here. This whole story really shines a light on a huge challenge for modern investigations. As technology and AI make it easier and easier to fake reality, the whole idea of a digital alibi gets, pretty fragile. It leaves us with a really critical question. In a world where seeing is no longer believing, what's it going to take to truly prove you were actually there?